I want to start with the mayor's race because I do, and because I want to show more elements from that. Here's number 11, the win of the likely Democratic nominee, according to the New York Times, is, you'll see here in a moment, reverberating beyond New York City. I like the fact that the New York Times is able to measure reverberation. Mamdani's success in mayor primary reverberates. I like the word reverberates. Here's one place it was reverberating, all the way over in Europe, where President Trump couldn't help but go on Truth Social. This is number 10, please. President Trump had some choice words for this gentleman. It's finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line. Zohran Mamdani, 100% communist lunatic, has just won the Democratic primary and is on his way to becoming mayor. We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He looks terrible. His voice is grating. He's not very smart. He's got AOC +3. I'm stopping there. Any of you know what AOC +3 means?
Yeah, the squad.
Ah, AOC +3. Got it. Dummies all backing him. And even our great Palestinian senator, crying Chuck Schumer, is groveling over him. Yes, this is a big moment in the history of our country. All right, a couple more things I want to show you, ladies, before I bring in. Number 12, this will come as no surprise. The Wall Street Journal reports, with their excellent sources, that Wall Street is panicking over the prospects of a socialist mayor running New York City. The betting markets, number 14, our friends at Polymarket say that there's a 74% that Mr. Mamdani becomes the mayor of New York. That seems low to me. We'll talk about that. And Jerry Nadler, my congressman on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, endorsed Mamdani today to seek to unify the party. Ladies, here we go. Nina, you first. Can you invent a scenario where Mamdani is not mayor of New York, or do you think he's a mortal lock?
I think it's more likely than not, Mark. Certainly in this business, you
Oh,
learn.
Nina, I got to stop you. More likely than not, that's 50.1. It's higher than
No, I mean
that.
and the reason why I'm saying this is because being on a national campaign with Senator Sanders twice, and seeing him, especially in 2020, win the early primary states, even going into the more diverse state of New Hampshire before the Democratic leadership on the neoliberal side flipped South Carolina. The reason why I'm saying more likely than not, because there's a long way between now and November, and no telling what the neoliberal leadership of the Democratic Party may or may not have up their sleeves. And we know that Mayor Eric Adams is running as an independent, so he's still, very much in this race. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, Mark, and that's why I'm saying more likely than not. They're mad. They're just as mad as President Donald J. Trump. Don't let these neoliberal Democrat leaders fool you. They are upset. I have seen them cycle after cycle go after more progressive candidates as if we're the Republicans.
Right. All right. Thank you for that. Emma Joe is a former journalist, worked at Fox News, New York Post, various other places. Now is a consultant. So Emma, put on your consultant hat. Let's say, what's that guy's name? Bill Ackman said, Emma, we got to stop this guy, and I'm going to pay a giant retainer, like Burisma Hunter level retainer, to organize. I want you to set up a meeting with everybody we need in the room to organize an effort to stop Mamdani from being mayor. Who would you invite, and what would your strategy be?
Okay, well that's loaded. Let me eat this elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah.
I don't think
Start with the tail. It's like an appetizer.
well, I think that there is an impulse definitely on the Republican side, and I understand it and I see it, to paint Mamdani as a psycho and somebody who should be elevated because he's unpopular and his policies are not going to be effective. And I think that there's varying levels of validity to those like various positions, but the moral of the story is Mamdani won for a reason. And I think that there is a lot of steam picking up behind progressives. I think that, frankly, Bernie is the rightful winner of the 2016 Democratic primary, and I think he's the rightful winner, possibly even of the 2020. And you know, yeah, no, I mean, like we actually agree on a lot. But I, the thing is, I don't agree with those policies, and I think that they are nuts. And I see why the impulse is for people who are in opposition of that and want him to lose, want to mock those policies. But the fact is, he won for a reason. And the reason is because it's funny, there's actually this Peter Thiel email that's been circulating online today. I don't know if anybody has seen it, but it's super deep. And he's talking, it's an email to Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg at Facebook from Peter Thiel. And he's talking about the impulse to want to stave off the millennial socialists from like running things. And he says something so interesting, which is when student debt is high and housing prices are too high, people tend to have negative capital, which makes them not bought into the capitalist system and not feel inclined to support it. And that is so true. And that is exactly, I think, what's being reflected in this race, which is New Yorkers are really suffering. They are dying from the price of housing. They are dying from the price, frankly, of everything. You know, Mark, you know this. You live in New York too. You go outside and breathe and it costs you $200. And people are barely getting by. And maybe these policies, I definitely think these policies are not the solution personally at all. However, I 100% understand why people are voting for the guy who's like, you know what, I'm going to like cap the price of rent and I'm going to like get you some sort of free grocery store situation.
I don't know what kind of, thank you for that. I don't know what kind of loosey-goosey shop Boccia runs on the group chat, but you didn't answer my question. How would you organize to beat him?
You have to address that was the subtext of everything I just said.
Okay, let's get to text.
The problem
If all
of
look,
affordability.
there's so many rich, powerful people who want him to lose, and they don't have a plan right now. They got no plan. And the reality is, as we saw with Andrew Cuomo, ironically, attempts to stop him may only make him strong. But is there money that could be spent, a candidate around whom people could rally if they wanted to stop him, or he's unstoppable?
On the Democrat side, I don't think that they have a better candidate in New York than him. I mean,
No,
Cuomo.
in the general election, could they get Adams elected? Could they get Cuomo elected? Could they find a way to get somebody else on the ballot?
The establishment Democrats who would be trying to, you're not going to have another progressive running against him. So any establishment Democrat that they put up will not address the progressive issues, which are what people are feeling, and accurately reflect their frustration with their lives. So no, that's what I was saying. I don't think that there is a way to beat him unless you operate on the premise that he is on and grapple with that. Cuomo didn't. There's no establishment liberals and Democrats that are. And Jerry Nadler coming out and endorsing him is hilarious.
It is hilarious. There's all sorts of speculation about why he won, and we've talked about it here. You know, he ran a great campaign. Cuomo did not. He was a momentum candidate at the end. The establishment money may have backfired, and he got endorsements late from Senator Sanders and from AOC.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.